is a 2015 WRX STI. Fun to drive stock.
Testing.
Absolutely. With one exception. First test drove this car, I was a little bit let down. For me, it came down to it's so quiet and it feels so restrained, and it feels like it's a monster of an engine, but you just don't have any sense of where it is. I was kind of like a little bit let down when I test drove it, but I knew because of all the videos I've seen, you know, they're as good as they look, as they sound, as the reputation has on the internet. So I was like, you know, I was still like heart set on getting this. But once I took the cat back off, I was like, oh, there it is. There is that EJ motor. There's a Subi homie right there. Giving a thumbs up. Main thing wrong with having the stock downpipe is when you're wide open throttle, you're still hearing that like wind tunnel like noise at wide open. So I'm excited to see what it sounds like when I get a catless downpipe. And then when I get my cat back here in about a couple days, I will have it on, and I think that'll get rid of, like, right now with the open downpipe, it kind of has like a slapping noise on the bottom of the car, obviously as expected, so it does make a little bit of vibrations in here. But when I get that cat back, that should all go away, because obviously all the vibrations from the air and everything are going to be going out the back. And it should be just as loud, because I just ordered basically a 3-inch straight pipe setup. It does have a little bit of popping here and there with the open downpipe, which makes me even more excited for a true downpipe, because it's going to pop like crazy. One thing I've noticed that I didn't think about is how with the boxer engine, the turbo, instead of it being like set up like this, it's turned sideways, so the downpipe, you know, it's like literally right under the camera right now, right in front of the passenger, and the downpipe goes right there, so you can hear the air coming out of the turbo like right over here in the passenger seat. It sounds like a lot different than my last car, but I like it. The transmission on these things are literally flawless. I came from a Speed 3 and the transmission was good, but like the cable shifter is like trash. And like having this like feels like a bolt action rifle, and it's so smooth. The engine revs up pretty quick when you downshift to rev match, and it's super easy to like nail it. It's really fun. My buddy Trevor and Jeremy, Trevor has a 350Z and Jeremy has a Mustang 5.0, and we went from Phoenix to Jerome to Sedona, and from Jerome to Sedona was like crazy windy roads. So much fun going around the corners. The all-wheel drive is so much fun. It just hooks like crazy. And on the freeway, I couldn't keep up with Jeremy's 5.0. When I would be in third gear, I'd have to shift, and he would just have a way longer third gear, as expected. But we went through some roundabouts next to each other, and I could just third gear just wide open, just huck in the corner, and it would just hook up, and it was like perfect. I can't wait to get this thing even it already handles like crazy good. It's got a very stiff setup, but it doesn't feel rough in here. For a stock car though, it's really impressive, and then when you kick it into sport mode, it's like actually like noticeably different. Like if you have cruise control on the freeway and you're sitting at 85 miles an hour, and then you click sport on, it goes like revs it out higher. It doesn't start picking up speed, but it keeps it at a higher RPM and keeps the motor a little bit more on edge and agile. It's very noticeable, so that's kind of fun. Usually when you put it into sport mode in cars, it's like doesn't really do that much, but this car like actually wakes up. Going from a Mazda Speed 3 to this car, I think my favorite thing is that you can floor it, pedal to the floor in first gear, no wheel spin. Traction control off maybe a smidge if you launch it that hard, but I can sit here at 3,500 RPM and just kind of let the clutch out, and it's just gone. It is so much fun. What it was about the Boxer engine after owning one, but I was like, I like it even more mechanically sound than my last like motors I've had in all my vehicles. Like I figured out why when I looked at the history of the Boxer engine. Obviously when you have a flat line for a scale of vibrations, with a V8, it's going like this, it bounces up and down like the vibration line, so it makes a little bit of vibration with the pistons going up and down. Inline 4 pistons going up and down, it shakes. But since the Boxer engine is going like this, it's just way more flat, and it has way less vibrations in the motor, and it makes for like such a smooth sounding engine. It's crazy. And like when you're like on the gas, it's just mechanically sound. It's nuts. Another fun thing is with the big wing in the back. When we were cruising from Jerome to Sedona, when we're hucking through traffic and I look in the rear view, I'm looking through the under the wing, so that's square. And then I can just see Jeremy and Trevor in their cars just under my wing, and it's like, what is this, Fast and Furious? Like, it looks like a view in a video game. It's sick. I'm so freaking happy with this car. It's like nuts. I'm so excited to get the cab back and then get an access port, intake, fuel rails and all that in the future, whatever they call it. You definitely feel like you're gonna get pulled over there for sure. Like cops give you, like they see the wing and they're like, I'm like, oh. One thing I did like about my Speed 3, the hatchback, is when I had the windows down, there was so much less wind in your face than this one. And like even with the setup, when you roll the back window down halfway, there's still so much wind in your face. But what do you do? I haven't played around with traction control enough to like know the limits of it, but I have turned it off a couple times, hucking like left turns, like first gear wide open, and you feel the tires slipping, but the car doesn't slide across the ground. Like, it does, but it's not like you're drifting, but it's just loose enough to where you're like, woo! Another thing I didn't realize is like, yeah, I knew they were going to be worse on gas than my previous car, But like, they are bad on gas, like bad. It's totally worth the money, 100%. No, not a negative comment, but just be ready. Like, a quarter tank might last you a day if you have fun. I mean, if you baby this thing, you get like 300 miles on a tank, but my estimated the other day was like 220 on like 13 gallons of gas. Good grief. Woo! Everybody needs one of these. It's like not the fastest car in the world. Like, it's fast, but it's not the fastest. It's not like a Corvette or something, but it's controllable and you can just roar around corners like we were. I wish we would have filmed more, but I was breaking in the car having a good time. We'll go back there another day and film a bunch of stuff. I think that's it for this video though. I hope you enjoyed the sound this car makes. Hope you enjoyed my opinion. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Follow me on Instagram. I'm going to be doing a giveaway soon, so stay tuned. You're going to want to know about that. It's one of my favorite parts to add on to cars, and I'm going to add it onto this car, and it's going to look sick, and I'm going to be giving away one of them to you guys. So I will see you guys in the next video. Later.